Congratulations. You made it to another day. You woke up. You still breathing. You might feel like you got a lot of problems, challenges, difficulties, obstacles in your life. But guess what? We all got that. It's part of the life experience. At any given moment in your life, you can reinvent yourself. And every time you get a chance to wake up in the day, understand you have a new opportunity. If you don't like the direction your life is moving in or where you're currently at, there are things you can do to change your situation, to reinvent yourself. And when you start to understand that and then begin to get that process in motion, it's going to feel difficult. It's going to challenge you. It's going to be uncomfortable. But the prize, the reward is all worth it. For when you change yourself, you change your circumstances. And when you change your circumstances, you change the whole quality of your life.
Welcome to Unlocking Levels, helping you reach new levels of your potential.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy CL the Source back with another episode of Unlocking Levels. Thank you once again for tapping in. In today's episode, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be talking about the whole process of reinventing yourself. I currently am in a stage in my life where I'm undergoing a lot of different changes from a mental standpoint, spiritual standpoint, financial standpoint, and physical standpoint. I've really incorporated a lot of new behaviors into my life over the past few years, and I feel like I'm turning a corner in so many different ways. And a direct reflection of what's going on is my overall perspective has evolved, and the amount of clarity I've been experiencing recently has been immense. And it's a great time to really share and be transparent in order to hopefully help you and inspire you to understand that, like, no matter where you're at, no matter what age you're at, no matter what situation you're in, you can always reinvent yourself. If you're conscious right now, if you're alive right now, feel your chest. If that heart is beating in your chest right now, you have the opportunity to change things for yourself. You can always reinvent yourself. As a matter of fact, I encourage you to reinvent yourself. If you feel a sense of stagnation in your life, if you feel like you're not really getting any traction in your life that you want, I definitely encourage you to entertain reinventing yourself. You don't necessarily have to pigeonhole yourself to where you're currently at. Even if you've been with a job, let's just take that for an example. Even if you've been with a job for 10 plus years, 20 plus years, whatever the case may be, and there's something deep inside you that knows that you feel dissatisfied, unfulfilled, and you're doing it for reasons that aren't rewarding, aside from obviously collecting a paycheck and providing for your loved ones or whatever your situation may be. And obviously that's a very important thing to do, but you can also have a situation where you are feeling fulfilled and also fulfilling a purpose. And that's not entirely impossible. It's actually quite doable, especially in today's day and age, where not only you can reinvent yourself, but there's so many different resources that you can tap into and plug into to help you learn, to help you grow, to help you find something new, to help you learn more about yourself in order to figure out exactly what it is that you want to do. I mean, we live in a abundant space in time where information is readily available. Sometimes that can be overwhelming. I know that on the internet, sometimes it can be so overwhelming to the point you don't even know where to look. But I think that if you take some time to reflect, to figure out what direction is best for you. And I know that can be a very daunting thing. It's very easy for me to say that because I don't really have anything tying me down. I'm not really bound to anything. Currently have no kids, got no mortgage, no car payment. The biggest payment I got is rent and certain bills and certain debts, but I'm not even tripping off that because it's so minimal. And I actually look at that as extreme flexibility. I have the ability to, if I wanted to live in a completely different country, completely different city, I can do that. I have the adaptability, the flexibility, and I have the wherewithal, and I understand who I am to the point that wherever I'm at in this world, I trust my ability to figure things out, to create a life for myself wherever I'm at, because I've done that work. And before you do decide to reinvent yourself, if that happens to be something that you entertain, understand that it is going to be a process. It could be a very rigorous process. It could be difficult in a lot of different ways because you're essentially forcing yourself to be somebody completely different, which means you're ridding yourself of habits that you've had for so long. Belief systems are going to be challenged, and there's going to be a lot of fight that your old self is going to put up when you're turning a new leaf, when you're looking to reinvent yourself. But what I will say is that if you do opt to do it, mentally brace yourself, but also understand that everything that's happening, you should just trust it and surrender to it all. But at the same time, look at what you can do to help yourself overcome certain things that you need to overcome. And although the process is grueling, it's well worth it. Speaking from somebody that's done a lot of inner work myself and that understands that I can reinvent myself and I have reinvented myself, it's well worth it because the quality of my life is amazing. I can honestly sit here and tell you that, look you straight in the eye and let you know that my quality of life is amazing because of my understanding, because of my perspective. And when you understand that life is happening for you and you just learn how to surrender to everything, and also understand that every given moment that you're awake, that you're breathing, that you're alive, you have that opportunity to reinvent yourself. It's a great overwhelming feeling because I feel so grateful that I even have this opportunity to play this game called life. And I'm doing my best to understand it every single day. And we're all trying to figure it out. But I guess the main point of what I'm really trying to say to y'all is that you don't have to limit yourself to where you're currently at. Understand that where you're at isn't necessarily your end destination. You don't have to be in a place you don't want to be forever. I know it's scary to do new things and be adventurous, but man, I think to me it's better than staying somewhere stuck where you don't want to be. I believe that if you're in a place where you feel miserable, where you feel anxious, where you feel stressed out, and you're not doing anything about it because of this sense of security that you have, then you are to blame just as much as the external circumstances because you actually have power, you actually have control to change things, but you're making a conscious choice, whether you want to admit that or not. You're making a conscious choice to stay in that situation rather than change things. And I understand where you would come from because when you're in a situation where things are comfortable, and like I mentioned earlier, you feel this sense of security, it's tough to go into a situation where there's so much uncertainty. It's a very scary thing to do. A lot of people won't do it. But the main part of my message that I want to leave y'all with today is that you can do it. You can reinvent yourself. You can change your situation. It's all up to you. It's up to nobody else. You got to start where you're at, of course, and it's going to be an uphill battle in some regards, but you absolutely can do it. You don't have to limit yourself to where you're at. The funny thing about security is I believe it's a false illusion. It's something that's there where it makes you feel safe, like things can never be taken from you, that things are just going to stay the same forever. But the thing about life is it's impermanent, it's uncertain. And I think there's a certain aspect of life due to that uncertainty, due to that impermanence, that makes it so beautiful. That the simple fact that we don't know what each day is going to bring, even though it might seem mundane at times, you don't know when our time's going to come. So it makes you appreciate life more. It can make you, and it should make you appreciate life more when you're coming from that perspective rather than slogging along and just thinking that each day is the same. Look, there's a quote that I love from somebody I've been listening to a lot recently, which is Brandon Carter, who's a great role model for me, man. Somebody that I've been really paying attention to a lot of his work recently. And he always says, if you want to argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. And by all means, if you want to say, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that, I've been at this job for 20 years, I can't just do that, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead. I'm not going to argue with you. You get to keep your limitations. But for those that really believe that there's more to life than what is currently presented to you, then this message is more for you. But the people that want to fight and argue for their limitations, hey, I'm putting my weapons down. I'm not fighting you. Go ahead. But at the same time, I don't want to hear your complaints about life. I don't want to hear you talk about your stress and how unhappy you are and things of that nature, because you actually control that situation. It's up to you to make a change, not nobody else. And with that being said, the process of reinvention, as I mentioned earlier, it's a strenuous, it's a hard, difficult process. But at the same time, like I said earlier, well worth it. And I just know right now where I'm currently at and how much I've fought to get to where I am right now, and also knowing how much more there is to go, I get very excited at that. I get very excited about the prospects of what's to come, the new experiences that lie ahead in my life, the new people I'm going to meet, the new connections I'm going to build, the opportunities I'm going to create, the experiences I'm going to have. I mean, I'm just so grateful to continue to play this game called life. And that's something that I do every single day, is practice gratitude in several different ways. Not to stray too far away from what I'm talking about in terms of reinventing yourself, but one of the many ways I practice gratitude is just by simply waking up, checking in with my body to see what's working. You know, if my eyes are working, if I could see, that's a blessing and I'm very grateful for. If I could smell, I'm grateful for it. If I can taste, if I can hear, if I can even feel the cold or feel the warmth, that's a blessing and I'm grateful for it. I just check in with my limbs to see if my fingers, my hands, my arms, my shoulders, my mind, my ears, my legs, if they're all properly working, I'm grateful. And so far, every single day, it's been that case where I wake up. Yeah, I might have some nicks and knacks and some aches and pains, but overall, my bodily functions are fully intact. And I'm able to be grateful for that, because not everybody's got health like I have or you might have. And when you understand that, it's easier to start thinking of what you have to be grateful for. And the more I practice that, the more I feel centered, the more I feel alive, the more I feel this energy, this rush of wanting to do things and wanting to take advantage of my situation and wanting to take advantage of all the sacrifices that were made for me to be where I'm at. And that really ties into what we're talking about today with reinventing myself, because and reinventing yourself, because when you realize that you have all these blessings, all these different advantages, you can turn that into opportunities to help you change your situation. If you're settling and if you're allowing yourself to stay in a place where you know you're not happy, you know you're not fulfilled, and more than anything, you know you feel you shouldn't be, then that's up to you. And it's really within your control. So let the overwhelming part of my message be today that no matter where you're at, no matter the situation, you have some semblance of control and you can make choices to start to change your situation for the better, starting right now, starting today. And I encourage you to do so. And with that being said, with the spirit of New Year, that's even extra motivation, extra fuel for you to get the ball rolling. My personal recommendation is for you to sit with yourself, literally free yourself from whatever distraction you have, whether that's a video game, phone, a book, anything. Even more ideal, if you can get yourself out into nature and leave any of your devices so that you can be with yourself, I would definitely take time to assess your situation. Ask yourself these tough questions that you know you need to ask for yourself. So ask yourself what you've been procrastinating on. Ask yourself what you really want in life, and begin to give yourself the time to let the answers come to you. Let the answers unfold. Don't force anything. Just take the time, make the time, and let the answers come to you and let them become more clear to you. And when you do that, you can really start to gain a sense of clarity. And when you have that clarity, you understand things to a certain degree where, okay, I see things so much more clear. Now I know what I need to do. And start with the small steps. You know what I'm saying? Start with the thing you've been procrastinating on the most. Even if it's cleaning your room, cleaning your car, cleaning out some of the things off your phone, right? Just freeing up bandwidth to help you live a better life for yourself. And I know it's entirely possible because I'm working on that within myself. I've been continuing to work on that within myself, and I've made tremendous strides, and I'm very grateful. And I know so much things are going to get better and better and better for me, because as long as I'm alive, as long as I'm breathing, I have the opportunity to do great things with myself, to do great things with my life, and to enhance the quality of my life. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this, the last tidbit, and maybe we'll talk about it more. We'll open up and really dig into it a little bit more into the next episode. But for me, the biggest way and the best way to enhance the quality of your life is to do good for other people. It's to serve others, to serve the world. And that's where I feel the most overwhelming amounts of fulfillment and happiness and joy, peace in my life is when I know that I'm positively impacting other people. If I can make somebody else's day a little bit better, no matter what they're going through, if they're having a tough day, if I can somehow make their day a little bit better by just holding the door open, being polite, being kind, smiling, having a quick conversation and checking with them, see how they're doing, actually being present with other people. Those are the things that actually keep my fire burning, and it gives me a lot of juice to keep pushing forward. So yeah, that's what I want to leave y'all with today. I know that was a lot to leave with at the end, and it's kind of completely separate from the topic we originally discussed in terms of reinventing yourself. But like I said, maybe we'll dig into that into the next episode, y'all. But I appreciate y'all forever, always being with me, rocking with me. I plan a lot of great things for 2024 and beyond, but it starts right now, as I mentioned in the last episode. So I'm gonna just keep the ball rolling, y'all. I'm gonna be transparent. I got some changes coming on in my life coming up in the near future, and I will definitely keep y'all updated with what's going on. And until next time, y'all, big love, peace, and blessings to all y'all. Stay blessed. Peace.